Nope, it's one movement. Okay. Okay, good. Gold and copper. That's what I'm talking about. Too bad we can't actually work that because of a food deficit, but whatever. Alright, that's good news though. Luxury and strategic resource. Hooray. Yeah, it's good to, while everything is a cost-benefit analysis in a strategy game, it's good to research these resource-revealing texts before you settle your cities, especially because the number of cities penalty is pretty bad in this game. There's actually a tech cost modifier. Every successive city you build increases the tech cost of every technology, which beyond a certain number, that can be really, really penalizing. So planning carefully entails having knowledge of the resources around you, so giving priority to those techs is not a bad move, I don't think. Okay, the Maya are going to have copper too. I can't realistically stop them from getting that, and it wouldn't really be worth it. But we have copper in our immediate big fat cross and vicinity here. Looks like a pretty copper-rich map, and gold. You have to build a jeweler to get happiness from this, unlike in vanilla Civ 4, but gold is a nice resource because not only is it a happiness bonus, but it is also used by electronics facilities in the late game to produce microchips, which is cool because in the modern world gold really does have that utility, so it's a nice dual purpose. It's a late game strategic resource and a source of commerce and happiness early on. Let's go north here. Alright, now bronze working. I mean, this really is a... With wine and gold, that's +2 happiness. Yeah, that's going to wear off that 2-turn bonus of 1, because I didn't want to risk losing the game from that random event. So we'll have a happy cap of 7. You know what? I think... Yeah, I don't think this details it. I think we have 1 extra happiness per city on Prince than on Monarch. Yeah, I can work with a happy cap of 7 in the classical era. That's not bad. It is unfortunate that we're not going to be able to actually work these resources with the city itself, but at least we can hook them up. Yeah, I'm trying to think of whether or not to build my 3rd city here. I don't really have a choice, I don't think, unless I wanted to just go down here right away. In any case, this is still priority 1, getting these horses, because the Maya will probably get there if we don't. In fact, we might be cutting it close already. Yeah, as soon as non-irrigation requiring farms are a thing, which is, I believe, with irrigation systems. No, it's water pump. Can build farms without irrigation. That's a ways away, but we absolutely need to build farms here, so I'm going to chop all of this flat forest. At least 2 of them. But yeah, probably all of them. To make these strategic resources workable, we need food. So sometimes you want to consider saving your forests. Not in this capital. They reduced the immediate hammers from chopping because in Beyond the Sword, generally it was a no-brainer to chop. But to build farms on these flat tiles, we'd have to remove the forests anyway. So I'm going to start chopping, hopefully get the settler out earlier, or early enough to beat the Maya to this horse's spot. Okay, they're done with open borders, fine with me. Whoops, I ended up doing bronze working anyway. That's probably fine. Yeah, that's probably fine. Turns for that forest chop. You're done with open borders too. You're done with open borders. Okay. Okay, 4 more turns. We're going to switch to... Actually, that's not worth 1 extra turn. I'm going to put some hammers into a workboat so that when we get this city to the east here built, it'll be easier to get the immediate food. Okay. Let's go southeast with you. Amon de Valera. I think you were Spain? Okay. Okay, now we're going to switch to a settler and just keep the progress on that boat going. I, in previous games, built too many cities, which really bogged my research down. In the base game, about 10 or so by 1 AD or the early medieval era is generally good. I'm going to undershoot that on purpose and see what kind of difference it makes. I'm going to play a little bit taller this time, which is one reason I'm trying to be more careful on the city selection here. I could try to grab this salt, actually, forego the food, and then do this cattle and copper here because this is a freshwater lake. Yeah, but this would be a terrible spot anyway. We already have copper, so does our neighbor. This is just a bunch of desert. More horses to our east over there, as you can see. Some Celto-Iberians. Yeah, I don't know that it was a great idea to wait till 2, but it would take so long to grow here anyway. Having two population early on is probably the way to go. Okay, this is a nice backyard. If no one's to our immediate east, that'll be nice. You'll sign open borders. I bet you won't. Yep. Okay. That just means he'll let you offer it. Okay, cleared the forest. Doesn't really help us too much with progress here, but 2 turns off of that. Let's get the copper hooked up next. There's a separate improvement for gold mines, gems mines, silver mines, etc. called the precious mine. And that actually requires... Oh, no, early metalworking enables it, but it doesn't really generate hammers so much as commerce. So the question now is, do I build a precious mine or a regular mine? For 4 hammers... Let's do the regular mine first. And then we'll fog bust here now that I have a better idea of the general area.
So mancher Jüngling fällt in der Schlacht, zermalmt von bronzenem Speer. Im Tode so scheint sein Schicksal vollbracht.
Can enable autocracy. Let's not do that right now. Archery. Turns. I'm going to just have a sizable garrison in every city from archery onwards is just a non-negotiable rule. You will get attacked otherwise. Okay, now you'll sign open borders. And I think we're blocked off now, so if the Celts don't, this unit's going to be stuck. You know, I'm going to keep exploring with this guy. Yeah, will you sign open borders, please? Nope, okay. Does anyone like you? I might just attack you, then. Yeah, I would get you declared war on our friend with so many people. Not worth it. Yep, okay. Well, let's just hang out there then. There's no way out of there. Yeah, I should have revealed the fog here. I'll go ahead and do that first. We're still not paying any extra for additional units, I don't think. Nope. 6, yeah, we have way more units we can build. Nope, okay, no fish or anything. That would be workable. So yep, now we'll go south again with him. Amon de Valera converts to Hinduism. So he's the founder, it looks like, because it was founded the same turn. So now we have a world religion. You can see that indicated here. The religious symbol showing that as their state religion.
Schieße keinen Pfeil, der zu dir zurückkehren könnte.
I am going to do mining next, actually. Maybe that's stupid. Well, actually it is. We're taking a 100% research penalty because that's a classical era tech. My reasoning was getting slavery earlier and then the mine bonus, since we're building a mine anyway. The game kind of incentivizes you to stay in your current era by default unless there's an immediate strategic reason for not doing so. I kind of want to go writing, but I need to build 2 settlers before I can build a library. I'd need archers in the new cities first, so it doesn't make sense to do that right now. I will go for road building instead. Yeah, this is a nice backyard. If I can kind of seal this area off, then carve out a nice little area for mid-game expansion. But man, what a terrible capital. Until I get like medieval era farms, it's not going to grow. But that is one nice thing about the mod, is you're not totally dependent on food bonuses the way you are in the base game. Farms get quite a lot better over the course of time, and so do craftsmen, which pleasantly models the Industrial Revolution and the concomitant urbanization thereof. Yeah, so rather than a 100% penalty, we're getting a 40% bonus here. That open border system combined with the era-dependent malice kind of adds a nice little layer of strategic thought to planning your research, which wasn't so complex beforehand. If you could beeline, why not? Also, when you advance to a new era, you, in addition to that being part of the factor of the game era for the purposes of separatism, which I haven't talked about at all, it increases your unhappiness and your unhealthiness by 1. So entering the new era is kind of tumultuous and something you should be careful to do only when you're ready. Also, if you're running the slavery or serfdom civics, the revolts you will have will be represented by stronger units. So there's another thing to consider. Ooh, nice, okay.
Workers in stone are not copper or steel tools, but the gentle touch.
Okay, so there's marble.
Working at their leisure with a liberal allowance of time.
Which isn't super valuable unless you're going to build classical wonders. But it is in the BFC of the spot we were already going to build, so. Yep, and stone, good. Alright, so I don't think the Mongoose script messed up. We do seem to be getting the jackpot of resources here. So away you go, forests. We're going to have to farm all of that. I really hope he doesn't get to these horses before we can, though. That would be tragic. I would probably attack his settler for that, if I had a good chance of winning. Okay, so now we have the copper hooked up. Precious mine next. Wow, this is really a rather large hinterland. If there's no civ down here... okay, human barbarian. Not likely to beat us, but still. In fact, we might as well attack him. 95% odds. And then we'll get attacked and die probably, but whatever. Yeah, anyway, if I can settle here and block anyone off, that's actually quite a bit of land. I may not have to attack anyone to settle a sizable empire, especially if I can keep Pekal here happy with me. There's no tech trading though. That is kind of, you can turn it on, but by default it's off. That was part of the fun of diplomacy. I can see from a realism standpoint why they got rid of it, but it does make diplomacy feel a little bit thin in its absence. Okay, precious mine +3. And as you can see here on the bottom left, once we research currency, that'll be another commerce for this precious mine. Once we research double entry accounting, another commerce. Nitroglycerin, another commerce. And then civics have their own effect. Railroad, another commerce. Electric railroad, another. Actually, I think that's the improvement, the route. And then another commerce if we have the jeweler, which makes the luxury resource a source of happiness as well. So here's just a good example of how a tile improvement can appreciate in value over the course of the game, which is kind of realistic if you think about it. In the ancient world, you're not going to derive the same benefit from a resource as you would with all of these other layers applied over it. Man, this is a nice area. I take it back about that capital if we can fend everyone off from settling here. Okay, we'll heal to full here. I don't want to speak too soon, but Prince, this is already feeling a lot easier than Monarch. I think there's a pretty big jump between the two, even in this mod. Okay, once we're done with road building, mysticism. One more final resource reveal until we settle our second city, I guess. Okay, barbarian primitives attacked us.
A well-beaten path does not always make the right road.
Yeah, what were their odds of winning? Less than 1%. The barbarians can be a little bit suicidal. And if you have those slave revolts I mentioned before, they are programmed to just attack the city. Suicide on it, no matter what, every time. Some nice medieval 2 Total War music there. Okay, so the Mongols are down here. I knew it was too good to be true to have all that land to myself. So yeah, this is sort of the early game in Civilization. You explore the map, you try to hold out against barbarians, and you find where to build your cities. That's sort of the early game priorities. Each era kind of has its own feel and differing range of priorities. The most cultured. We are 8. Well, we weren't focusing on that, so at least we're stronger than everyone. That's not always a given. Pope Alexander VI Borgia adopts autocracy. Wow. I wonder what his favorite civic is. Let's see. Oh, of course, theocracy. That was a stupid question. Yeah, so I think I'm going to build like 2 or 3 more, 2 more cities. Maybe, yeah, probably 4 total, and then hang out till the Middle Ages and see how much of a difference that makes, because I overextended in my most recent game, which was admittedly on Monarch. I'd be tempted to like attack him, for instance, but that's just another city and another tech malice, and there's so much unsettled land here that attacking may not be the best move anyway. Let's see what he has before his borders expand again. Primitives. Ah, Zoroastrianism has been founded. We don't know who it was, though.
Die Natur hat uns den Begriff der Götter selbst gegeben.
Okay, and that allows you to build pagan temples. If Stonehenge hasn't already been built, that might be worth considering. Whoops. Looks like Stonehenge has not already been built. If we want to go for it, then stone cutting. 27 turns, It's never obsoleted though. That is a extra happiness from the pagan temple for the rest of the game, so. But if I adopt an actual religion, well, under paganism, as the civic, I can have a state religion and pagan temples which provide happiness, so I do have units. I can afford to go for Stonehenge. And I do have stone. Yeah, I'll go for it. Might be a noob ploy, but we'll try. How long until this mine? 3 turns. So we'll already be halfway done by the time we get the stone hooked up. So realistically, this will probably be like a 20 turn thing if we make it. Okay, and we're going to go hook up the horses next. I had architecture selected. Walls. With monarchy, walls provide an additional happiness, and then local autonomy from Code of Laws as well. I don't know that I have the food to really bump the fence there till later on. Yeah. Oh, well, my bad. I need architecture to even improve the limestone in the first place, so we're looking at 3 turns here, then 1, 2 to move, so 5, then 9 to get the cart path put up. So yeah, architecture next so we can get the quarry for the production bonus on Stonehenge, which, yeah, you have to look at it this way. Yep, double production speed with limestone. Okay. Yeah, so definitely architecture next. And if you're not the first to build a wonder, they are all races. If someone's already working on it and they build it first, you can't, and your existing investment in production is converted into gold. So commonly called failure cash. It's not a total loss. If we don't get it, the money will be put to use. But I do like that happiness bonus to the pagan temple as well as the culture bonus, and then running paganism, I can actually adopt a state religion too and derive happiness from both, which is actually pretty cool. I'm a fan of that. Or alternatively, you could do one of these religious civics that give you bonuses for your, other bonuses, but at the expense of not being able to use pagan temples. You need paganism for that, so. But I do like how they're not mutually exclusive. You can have paganism and a state religion. The state religion's, in my mind, primarily a diplomatic thing, but they revamped religion in this mod quite a bit, and it's also a lot more domestically important than it used to be. And each religion has its own effect, which is pretty cool. And special unit. Okay. Yep, I still think this is the best spot. I might even go for some classical wonders since I'm not going to build as many cities on purpose, and we have such production-laden land. That might be something viable. A little bit of wonder whoring. Alright, here goes nothing. Uppsala. Non-geographically correct Uppsala. Alright, and we are immediately going to get a storyteller circle for the culture because we, being crude, unwashed barbarians, have 0 culture by default. Alright, second city up. Finished our precious mine. This poor city can only work 2 tiles. It's really kind of pathetic. And just note to anyone who may not know, as I just mentioned, the Stonehenge, if you have limestone, it gives you double the production speed on that. You don't actually have to be working the tile with your population. See, the city has 2 people, and I can assign them wherever I want. You just have to actually have the resource improved and then connected to your trade network. So there is a meaningful difference there. Alright, we hit the South Pole over here. We're working the most productive tiles. Jadwiga converts to Zoroastrianism. Yeah, so far, you can see the religious influence. Hinduism, 10% of the world's population is Hindu. 3% is Zoroastrian. Those are the only 2 world religions we know of, though. But Poland is now Zoroastrian. We're not next to them, but that's worth keeping an eye on. Okay, it'll take... Yeah, well, I guess we kind of wasted this, because we'll only get the quarry bonus. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm stupid. This is just a hammer bonus to the quarry. We don't actually need this tech to build it. That was silly. That would be, of course, stone cutting, is what enabled it. Oh well. Not a waste getting this tech anyway. So yeah, 19 turns to get this hooked up. We'll only have 3 left at that time, but oh well. Alright, Russia, you want open borders so you can spread Zoroastrianism. That's fine with me. And give me a nice 40% research bonus. I'll take it. Okay, Mongols. Yeah, we'll take open borders. So, while it would be very unlikely these barbarians can come in, and being 2 movement, they can come in and pillage my road or whatever, or attack me. I almost certainly would kill them with this unit, but still, you gotta beware. Even these melee units with 2 movement can come in and attack you, so you do not want to leave your cities undefended. Like my capital is right now, for instance. In fact, he could even get there before me. 2... Let's see where he goes. Yeah, he'll attack. With 1 strength, that really shouldn't happen, but still, you really want to beware. Okay, land tactics so we can take pacification. See, no one has any units up here, so barbarians are coming out of it, but I've got these guys here, and then you see some other AI units swirling around, preventing spawn elsewhere.
Architecture has recorded the great
Okay.
ideas of the human race. Not only every religious symbol, every its page.
Yep, that's still ahead of its time. Yeah, if we build the statue of Odin, we get a free pagan temple everywhere. Double production speed with limestone, which we are getting ready to hook up. So yeah, I'll actually go for that next. We're going for the pagan temple anyway. Mongol capital Ulaanbaatar. I like how they did the culture-specific geography. You can see here this just looks like a tent camp. It's not even properly a city, as the Mongols wouldn't really have had, so. Okay, yeah, let's do open borders. Man, I'm getting a little worried we won't make it to Stonehenge. Okay, someone just built the Great Bath, which means they weren't working on Stonehenge, so hopefully there are only so many wonder whores in the game. If that was one of them, then our odds are better. Okay, Maya, they settled to the south here. That is rather out of the way. Wow, how many tiles is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's actually quite a distance. Yep, the Mongols are going to get horses too. That'll be interesting later on. Getting more and more antsy every turn. See if we'll make it to Stonehenge. Right about now is when I would expect to be rushed if I had an aggressive neighbor. Alright, barbarian cities. Yeah, given enough time, barbarians will just found their own cities and settle down. And another mechanic the mod added was a culture spread from combat. So if you fight barbarians enough that have settled cities, they will actually spawn into civs that you can interact with, which is kind of a cool mechanic. Okay, alright.
Every block of stone has a statue inside it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it.
Yeah, writing next. You gonna let that guy hit you like that? Okay. Active quarry here. And it's cool, you see this crane is dead, it's not moving. But if we did actually work that tile, which I'm not going to do, but just for the sake of illustration, you can see it operating. That's kind of a nice, fun effect. Yeah, for a long while, this city is just going to be two tile, unfortunately. I'm getting nervous. I'll be upset if we don't get Stonehenge. Okay, yeah. Since they built this city here, it doesn't make sense to clear the fog in this area. I'm actually going to send him to directly defend my capital now. See, if we switched civics here, we would have a period of anarchy where none of our cities are working. Since we are trying to get to this wonder, that's not something we want to do, even if we did want to switch to that civic. Just to illustrate that concept real quick. That might have been stupid. They may come out of that city and attack me. In general, you want to move in terrain that gives you defensive bonuses in the early game, given animals and barbarians. So hugging, especially with scouts or units that are really, weak, you want to hug terrain that's defensible as you move along. But I also kind of want to see what that city has. Okay, finished the storyteller circle. So now we have a little bit of culture. It's going to take us literally 40 turns to get a border pop, but as I said, all of this terrain that's not actually on the frontier will then be getting a 20 culture per turn of mine because it's not directly on my border, plus the amount that's generated per turn in every tile. So that means that we'd be securing this horse resource for our culture which is unlikely given the poor terrain around it, but if a neighbor were to settle next to it, they would start exerting their own culture on it. Not something I would want to happen. Also, of course, we need the cow and everything for food here. And the earlier you get that started, the more total culture you put into place. And then until that city is destroyed, it actually will stay there for the rest of the game. Okay, I'm not going to build a pagan temple because we're going to go for the statue of Odin next. We really need probably another unit, and then so militia units or irregulars, much like settlers and workers, they actually take food and hammers as an input, meaning the city doesn't grow while you're building that. I was going to build a unit so that we would be growing concomitantly. This is also a food poor area. We need another unit, but once I can get to level 2 here, then we can build a probably our third settler, which should come about. Yeah, it's still going to be a while before our border pops, but that's okay. Okay, we got the stone hooked up, so unless the game is cursed, and we have the classic civilization experience of losing a wonder with 1 turn to go, Stonehenge is in the bag. Let's go get these horses hooked up next. And a Sazi here, and yeah, you have more line of sight from the hill as well, so that's why we can see these 2 cities here. Why the Maya went ahead and settled that far away, I have no idea. They wanted this marijuana, I guess. Alright. Did we get Stonehenge? That we did. Hooray. Now for the rest of the game, pagan temples will provide an extra happiness and culture, which will be as long as we have the paganism civic. Which, if you've built this wonder, it's kind of in your interest to keep that, at least for a good long while, till free religion probably. Alright. I don't want to fall down too far on the wonder rabbit trail, but statue of Odin. Oh, you do need a pagan temple first to build it. 29 turns to build a settler. No one's going to go to this eastern spot yet, so we have a little bit of time. Yep, let's go ahead and do that, and then keep that hammer investment on the boat. Yeah, let me just check the statue of Odin here. I like how they themed this. Of course, this is just a representation, a fictional one, but the statue of Zeus is the template wonder, but because Odin is more culturally specific, they just made the statue of Zeus the basic generic wonder, but it's themed Odin for us as Scandinavia, which is pretty cool. Yep, okay, so we just need the Hof, and then that'll give us a free one in every city. Well, having to build one in the first place Yeah, until theology, which is not especially far in the future. Well, yeah, it's kind of far in the future. I'll go for it, whatever. Okay. Well, that was lame. I just entered your borders. Now you're going to make me go around.
Den Wind vermagst du nicht zu
Yeah,
lenken.
you can pause and look
Segel
at what
wohl.
this does. I'm not going to go over every single thing each time. Okay, are we finally where we can research classical tech without a terrible bone or a penalty? Nope, not yet. That's 2000 BC. We are just hanging out in the ancient era right now, but that's fine. Trade wouldn't be a bad choice right now anyway. Lots of AI units over here. Yeah, at least we were blessed with a pretty good amount of resources here for what we lacked in food. Can say I'm pretty happy about that much. Yeah, let's just keep exploring with this guy now that we have a rudimentary garrison in place and we're almost done with another archer. What a weird map though. Look at this strip of 2 wide tundra hills right next to these plains. Tundra next to plains, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Okay, no fish over here. I was kind of thinking there would be. Just pearls over in this barbarian city. Okay, completed the archer. Let's get a chariot, and then I'll probably go ahead and build the next settler in Uppsala. As I mentioned earlier, we'll get it built here. And since the Maya actually took this spot, I was considering I might actually just hang out with what I have for... Well, no, I might grab this second limestone because you need 2 for masonry materials, which are kind of actually a really valuable resource. It's a nice production bonus on lots of things in addition to allowing you paved roads a lot earlier. And then it would give us the chance to get this salt hooked up as well. This is a pretty crappy spot from everything but a resource acquisition standpoint. This being the Maya capital, we may not get to that salt before he does. His next border pop won't grab that, but he's probably coming up on it pretty quick. The second one, and then yeah, we can probably get this city with a third border pop, or its first border pop before the capital gets its third to hook up the salt. But the salt wouldn't be as important as the limestone. And then also we'd get pearls here. We'd have to build the boat in our capital, but that's fine. Okay, so now we have the horses hooked up. That's nice. Let's keep chopping. More potatoes, okay. And then let's send the archer up here. Statue of Odin, here we come. Yeah, we don't have a choice but to work these 2 tiles or we'll starve.
No nation was ever ruined by trade.
Okay, enables gold trading. I'm actually going to go ahead and request money from everyone who's pleased with me. It's a little bit cheap, but the game will let you request stuff every so often and the AI will accept it, so since they're pleased, there's no penalty for asking and they'll just basically give me their money, which is kind of a cheap gamey trick, but why not use it? You don't have any. You have 10. Okay, yep, they all exceeded to that. So now we've got a nice little pile of 133, which we can use to run our research at 100% for a little while longer. Yeah, I'll actually go ahead and build this city before this one, just to get the clock started on culture for this salt. If we get the statue of Odin, which we probably will, I think if the AI was smart, it wouldn't go for this if it didn't also have Stonehenge, or at least it would do so with less priority. Then we'll automatically have a Hof in this new city, which means it'll automatically be getting 2 culture per turn because it has 1 by default and then 1 extra from the Stonehenge. So we should be able to beat him to getting this salt if we settle here promptly. Yeah, I'm actually going to fortify here. This isn't ideal, I guess. Well, I am going to fortify here. I don't want to leave that spot as a gap where Varbs could spawn. Okay, yep, they have horses now. And we're starting to fall behind in strength a little bit. You see this number's red. If you get to less than, if you get to 80% of their strength, it'll show up as a red number because, you know, that's, in relative terms, starting to get concerning. Okay, Poland. Whoops, didn't mean to click on you. Will you open borders? Nope. Okay. We've got a nice little desert here with an oasis. Someone will probably build a city here at some point because it's next to the fresh water and they can hook up copper. Fairly interesting map so far. Not just geographically, I mean the resource placement and the, which I suppose is geographic, but the slew of leaders and their placement, like Mongolia way down here on their own. That's kind of weird. They're going to have to fight these barbarians to get out of this peninsula. Alright, 2000, so now we're in a new tech era where classical tech's only 50% more expensive. But medieval tech is still double. And you can see it's represented by a cool new icon, this Corinthian helmet. It was an axe before, I think. Saint Augustine. Most cultured. Hey, we're only puny. We've ascended up in the ranks. Alright, Pope, you want open borders? Fine with me. That is one thing, unless you're way ahead of someone, it's kind of in your interest to sign open borders. Especially later on once you get trade route connections, because that is a prerequisite for them. Yep, this city is now unhealthy. Early game health is really, really bad. Just get 1 by default. And then because we're at level 2, I didn't think of that. We're going to starve right back down. Yep, so here's where health is a strategic consideration. You gain 1 extra unhealthiness for every population. I forgot to consider that. We grow to level 2, makes us unhealthy. Every excess unhealthiness is -1 food, in addition to a higher epidemic rate, so we're just going to immediately starve back down until we get, some health infrastructure going. Lots of complexity and things to consider. And now all of that was wasted. It's going to take 44 more turns to get up to level 2 again. Always learning stuff. Yep, now we can build spies and libraries. Okay, now mining's not egregiously expensive. It's just a little bit more expensive. But I still want to do this because, well, it allows slavery. That's actually pretty big. The EXP for killing slave revolts. But that productivity bonus to the mine itself when our capital can't grow. And then a slave market would be another +1. That's a pretty strong tech. I am going to go with mining. Okay. Judaism has been founded in Tikal, which, as we can see, is here. How unlikely. And he converted to Judaism. So yep, we have a nice little diversity of religions. However, it looks like the Poles gave up their Zoroastrian and became Hindu themselves. Either way, no religious love fest this time. When everyone has the same religion, it generally makes for a more peaceful game. Attacking Brothers of the Faith is a little less likely. Okay, now we've got this chariot. Once we get slavery, this will probably be our primary revolt killing unit. Jewish rabbi on his way to spread to Uppsala, most likely, which means we'll be given the chance to convert ourselves. I might actually end up doing that. Yeah, I don't know. He most likely wouldn't attack us as long as we are the same religion, and he looks to be my only immediate neighbor right now, so. The idea, though, is to be prepared if you get attacked, not to cower away from the prospect. Yeah, 14 turns before then. Yeah, let's chop 1 more forest and then go improve the cattle here, because we'll have the border pop. Camp out here just as a defense unit. Alright, border is expanded again. Let's see if we get the statue of Odin. India is always in my game. I don't know why that is. Okay, where did you come from? I don't know. India, India, India. You came from... Where are you? Is it him up here? Yeah. Yep. His boat. So he's probably around the corner here. I need to see if I can get through this. Will you let me through, man? Good, okay. Forgot about that unit. Thanks for reminding me, India. Parameswara. Alright, we made our way through the marijuana forest. Cork. Oh, he's the Celt. Okay, he's not Spain, it's the actual Celtic civilization. Okay. I thought it was like a Proto-Iberian skin for Spain, but no, this is just the Celts. Have not seen them in a game yet. Alright, I think we've got the statue of Odin in the bag as well. Cool. Yeah, they didn't do a movie for everything, but they added art for all the new wonders, which I think is pretty cool. That looks like it's from a video game or something. Alright, so we've got the statue of Odin, which should have given us a free pagan temple here. It did. And then also for every new city we build until theology. Yeah, we've got the wine in our borders already now, so we can get that improved. Okay, 34 turns on that. 30 turns. One of these two cities, I haven't decided yet which, will get started on a settler soon. Build this spot here and probably settle here next, and then hang out till maybe... I want to try this tall approach, see if that's viable till maybe late medieval. But this has gone pretty well so far. It seems to be a more peaceful game. I haven't seen a single war declaration. That will inevitably change at some point, especially now that all these different religions have been adopted. We'll probably be requested to convert to Judaism, and at this rate, I probably will accept that for the time being. But I'm going to go ahead and call it for now. This was a pretty nice early game setup. I wasn't expecting it to go this well given the paucity of food in our capital, but I will think a little bit more on next steps. Classical era, since we're going tall, I'll probably try to build some wonders with marble and masonry materials soon to be in the bag. It'll give us some more domestic options, but again, I will do some strategizing off screen here, and hopefully the next installment goes as well as this one. If you watched this, thank you, and until next time, this is the Ashard Head signing off.